There we go. All right. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a very good day here today. Our trades are a little bit less than they were yesterday, a little bit less profit, but overall things still look to be doing well. What the goal is today is just break down the technical analysis, going over some news here because there is some big news coming out of Coinbase, which yesterday they had really good news. Today they had really bad news. So that'll be something else we have to talk about here as well. And then just going over what coins I'm actually going to be buying during this dip. I think we have a good opportunity here to make some money, especially as altcoins are coming back down and Bitcoin just slowly coming down. I think the altcoins are giving us enough of a breather where those of you who maybe have not bought anything at all over the last few weeks may be able to start doing your first dollar cost averages and kind of bring in some money in there as a overall, right? So, hey Haram, happy what is it? Band's Beef, something like that. Sorry, I can't see it. My contacts are still new here. But happy to see you guys here. Finally caught a stream on time. I know, normally I've been going to stream a little bit earlier today, but today I have to be somewhere like at 7 o'clock. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get this stream out of the way, knock it out. And I still suck at doing late night streams. So I'm gonna try to practice that maybe tonight or tomorrow or something like that. Anyway, before we get going here, I do have a piece of lung for Loki. He's like over here whining for it. So we're gonna give him a treat. No. What? Oh, he won't let me cover his eyes. Oh, my bad. Yeah, huh? He chomps down hard, but he doesn't chomp down hard, if that makes sense. Or fast, but not hard. There you go. All right, Loki, you want to take a bath? There you go. Okay, now I need him moving a little bit. All right, and hey, Nicholas, happy to see you back as well. So a little bit of a quick update here, going from top to bottom. Our Pepe is up 54%. It was up a lot more than that. Our Melania is no longer up. It is now down about 90%. Again, it's like every 10% is a dollar because we just dollar cost averaged into it. So we have a long way to go, but Book of Meme is no longer up 600%. Now we're only at 400%. This is why I was telling you guys to like, hey, take some profits yesterday and the day before yesterday, the day before that, because you never know exactly when the market is going to decide to cool off because these moves don't usually last for too long. Ape token is still up 155%. Solana is up only at 99%, no longer above 100. Turbo is up 1,300%. It was up 1,700%. Again, take your profits as they come along. Lingo, that one's the one that's frozen on us, and we got XRP right here. That one's at 1,500%. This one has been up for a while though, just because we bought this pre-XRP news. Everything else for the most part is fairly new here. So good news there. Trades are still doing fine. When I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, it still seems like we're trying to surge. You know, this is the 4-hour chart. You can see a couple death crosses in here and things like that, and maybe a death cross incoming. I don't think I necessarily care too much about these death crosses. We have them quite a bit and they don't really seem to impact so much, right? It's usually the 50 and the 200 that usually makes things a little bit worse for us. So I think I'm going to stick with that for now and not really pay attention to this one. We talked a little bit this morning, if any of you guys caught the video, where you could say that Bitcoin is in a nice little cup and handle type of formation right now. So I think a golden opportunity, if it does arise, is if Bitcoin decides to come back down here closer to 97, 98,000 bucks. I will be buying up a lot down here for a potential reversal. And I'm pretty confident if we dip, we are going to have the reversal there. This is something that it's not on the top of my head, but it's kind of like a backup plan, because the way the momentum has been shifting here, we only have a few more days before Bitcoin really has to start grinding up, and I think Bitcoin will do that, at least start testing at all-time highs before it decides to come down anymore. So kind of my 2 cents about what my next up-and-coming plan is. You go over here to the weekly chart, like I said before, MACD, oscillators, everything is all looking very bullish right now. I'm going to buy on that bullishness, and I'm going to hold. That's what we're starting to do bit by bit with some of these dollar cost averaging moves, especially with meme coins, altcoins, and stuff like that. I also plan on going over here to coinmarketcap.com and buying up some more, or not buying up some more, excuse me, adding some more stuff to our portfolio or our watch list, just to get a gist of like maybe 10 to 20 different assets we can buy, hopefully on on crypto.com, excuse me, or maybe Coinbase, where I have an easy way to pull up my account and show it to you. I have a Coinbase account and I have a crypto.com account, so I'm assuming I can log on to one of those on my computer, and then from there just say, hey, we got $10 of this, $20 of this, $100 of this. Let's see how this breakdown worked. Let's see if we made any money. And then we have like a 3 to 5 month horizon of just watching that. And then maybe every week we toss in $5 to each coin to act like we're dollar cost averaging or something. So I can mimic maybe what more of the average investor's going through right now. I doubt the average investor's just tossing a few $1,000 into Bitcoin, a few $1,000 into a meme coin A, B, and C in order to make their profit. A little bit, right? Now, with Bitcoin still looking okay, especially if you zoom out a little bit with the oscillators and all that good stuff, everything else still is not as close. You can go back over here to Ethereum, not nearly as good. Also hitting a little bit of resistance today and getting rejected by that. Solana broke above the resistance, chilling above the resistance right now. Now support, I guess you would say. Dogecoin getting rejected from the 20. Trump token getting rejected by this trend line here that's been happening for the last few weeks. Melania token just being Melania token, yay. Whiff making a good comeback, Bonk making a comeback, but again, nothing is really close to the highs that we're looking for. Only thing that still happens to be there is maybe Bitcoin, maybe Tron. I was actually just talking to a friend that works at Tron to see if he's going to be in Bitcoin Vegas here, and yeah, Tron getting close to all-time highs. It really spiked back in December. This thing is still gliding high. This is the growth type of token that you're looking for that most people should have in their portfolio. But you know, things like Matic, still as down bad as ever. Rough spot. Now before we go into general news and stuff like that, the futures are up just a teeny weeny little bit here. Literally talking about 0.07%, 0.03%, 0.05%. They're positive, just not by a lot, but that positivity, I think, allows Bitcoin more room to continue going higher and higher, even with everything else being a little bit okay, right? So I still think the momentum is on our side right now. Now, two big pieces of news that actually affects a lot of us here, because I know a lot of you guys have a Coinbase account. I use Coinbase specifically to move money from my trading exchanges like Weeks and BYDFi and all the ones I use. And I use Coinbase as a mechanism to get that into cash into my personal account, right? So send it over from my main exchange, sell it for cash or USDC, sell for cash, whatever. And then I just transfer it over and pay that damn little fee because I'm doing instant transfers. So two big news pieces came out today. Coinbase says hackers bribed staff to steal customer data and are demanding $20 million ransom. They bribed staff. That means Coinbase is not paying their employees enough. And that means that somebody like me, you, whoever else uses Coinbase, there's a good chance that our data has been taken by hackers. And the fact that the company workers were bribed to do so, oh my God, absolutely insane. So Coinbase on Thursday reported that cyber criminals bribed overseas support agents to steal customer data to use in social engineering attacks. Do any of you guys know what social engineering is? It's a crazy, it's a crazy technique. It's a crazy skill. Let's just call it a skill. Where basically it allows you to manipulate situations and get what you want. There are professional social engineers who will get paid by Microsoft to try to break into the building and then somehow end up in a CEO's office, right? And by that, they study everything they need to know, and then they're going to make a profile, and they're not going to sneak in the middle of the night and get past security and do all the movie stuff. No, they just wait for somebody to hold a door open for them. They say they forgot their badge and talk their way up, and it's a very useful way to get what you want. And if they're going to be using this for social engineering attacks, this just means that you're going to have a scammer that's very good at scamming try to hit you up with an email saying, hey, this is what's wrong, we're Coinbase support. Everything will look almost exactly perfect, but like one little be off here, something like that. And that's what basically just happened to Coinbase, where the data that was taken from the people like me, you, that's going to be most likely turned over to these individuals so they can try to scam us, which is definitely not a good thing. It goes on to say the incident may cost Coinbase up to $400 million to fix, the company estimated. The cryptocurrency exchange operator received an email on May 11th from someone claiming they obtained information about certain Coinbase customer accounts, as well as other internal Coinbase documentation, including materials relating to customer service and account management systems. Coinbase reported in a Securities and Exchange Commission filing, right? and they're down more than 6% in this morning's trading. That was the first bad part. Okay. Oh, and I should say this. Although passwords and private keys were not compromised, affected data includes sensitive data such as names, addresses, phone numbers, and emails, mass bank account numbers and identifiers, as well as the last 4 digits of social security numbers, government ID images, and account balances, the company said. That's not fucking good at all. But we really don't have many other places that do that middleman stuff. So maybe some of you guys feel more comfortable with crypto.com or something like that. But yeah, Coinbase, whoosh, this is going to hurt a lot of people. This is going to shake a lot of trust that they have. And now to part 2 of Coinbase having a very, very bad day. Coinbase confirms user metric investigation, says it's working with Trump's SEC to resolve it. So they might have been lying about how many people actually have accounts on Coinbase, and they might have been fudging the numbers a little bit. And it seems like the government kind of got wind to this, and now they're going to do a full-blown investigation, and they're going to see if this is actually warranted or not. So not as much of an in-depth story that I think we need to focus on here. But yeah, basically, Coinbase on Thursday confirmed the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has been investigating whether the crypto exchange has misstated its user numbers. That's a horrible thing, because if you can't trust the company, that means you can't trust their earnings reports. If you can't trust their earnings reports, how much are they actually, or how much should you actually value them at? At that point, you might as well just like sell and get out of it. Now, I've already sold my Coinbase, I want to say a couple weeks ago, because I just needed to get out of it. I prefer to hold something more like a MicroStrategy or just a better tech stock, if you will. Coinbase is okay, but it's too tied to Bitcoin, and I own a bunch of Bitcoin. I don't need to have more things tied to Bitcoin unless it's MicroStrategy. At this point, unless it's MicroStrategy, because the bigger Bitcoin goes, boom. Maybe one of these days MicroStrategy will go bankrupt and they'll have like some type of massive crash, if you will. But until that happens, MicroStrategy is probably the best way to go if you don't want to get into Bitcoin and you guys don't want to go through the ETF route. MicroStrategy grows a lot faster. I think even here, MSTR. All right, follows Bitcoin, but just gives you really good returns. For example, back over here, 2023, the lows, I guess the lows were back over here. It's a little bit different with Coinbase versus Bitcoin, but let's just go low of cycle to high. This ran up around 4,000%, whereas Bitcoin, low to high, it ran up around 600%. So again, for those of you guys who maybe don't want to get into Bitcoin, maybe you don't like the way the SPIC and the FDIC have their regulations, maybe you guys want to go MicroStrategy. Although, same thing, when Bitcoin falls, MicroStrategy falls hard, but when Bitcoin booms, MicroStrategy booms quite well. So you can almost think of it as like a 3x or like a leveraged position on Bitcoin. Okay, so as far as everything else is concerned, I'm going to play this one video for you guys very fast, just off of YouTube. This is just going over the SEC investigation into Coinbase. Only 4 minutes long, but I think we all maybe have signed up for a Coinbase account at once, and the fact that now we don't get to have that, or that safety isn't there, that could be a big concern. So let me go over here. Let me go to like 95% audio, and there we go. Almost.
All right, welcome back. A developing story. We're keeping an eye on this hour. Coinbase stock sinking on news of an SEC investigation. Tanea McKeel is here with more. This company's been in the news a lot this week. What do we know about this?
Yeah, big week for Coinbase, Scott. The company confirming the SEC has been investigating whether it has misstated its user
7%.
numbers. The inquiry focuses on the number of verified users reported by Coinbase. The New York Times reported this afternoon Coinbase has claimed as more than $100 million, 100 million verified users in various securities and filings and marketing materials. Paul Graywall, their chief legal officer, explained in a statement that was shared with us that includes anyone who has verified their email address or phone number with Coinbase, so the number may overstate the number of unique customers. Now, the investigation began during the Biden administration, which Graywall also points out that administration was famously hostile toward the crypto industry and has continued under the Trump administration's, of course, more crypto-friendly SEC. Grable also said this is a holdover investigation from the prior administration about a metric we stopped reporting 2.5 years ago, which was fully disclosed to the public. While we strongly believe this investigation should not continue, we remain committed to working with the SEC to bring this matter to a close. Shares taking another leg lower on this story, already under pressure after this morning's reported hack, Scott.
Yeah, so I'm
double whammy right there, okay? Just a complete double whammy.
I mean, so much for riding the high of being added to the S&P 500, which Brian Armstrong just yesterday was talking so highly about, and what it meant for, in some respects, the credibility of not only crypto, but this company. And on that note,
Okay, this doesn't affect the credibility of crypto. These guys will typically do that where they throw some shade at crypto because they still don't understand it. While they're forced to talk about it, they don't necessarily own any Bitcoin in their portfolios and things like that, right? They will always throw shade. Bitcoin is fine, crypto is fine. There is no stopping the cryptocurrency train. Why they do those sly remarks, I will just never understand. Almost like a little bit of a pettiness, because maybe they didn't get in on Bitcoin until it was like 95,000 bucks or something. You know what I mean? So maybe they're lost at it right now. Something like that. However, this is bad for Coinbase, and that I can stress.
I was at the Sohn conference, yesterday, and I spoke to famed short seller Jim Chanos, and he told me he is short coin, and here's one of the reasons why.
All the things that Coinbase did as a leader and as a pioneer in this industry, others are now doing, right? You can now buy Bitcoin ETFs anywhere. You can trade Bitcoin in places like Robinhood and also. So in effect, you're basically...
Okay, but Robinhood only has like, what, 25 tokens or something like that? Coinbase has like over 100, over 200 tokens. So let's not pretend like they're in the same class of players, right? They may be shrinking, but, Robinhood's just waiting for that clarity to come from the government, and they're going to be all in.
Have a broker-dealer in crypto. And broker-dealers generally trade at relatively low multiples and ultimately have very low margins.
They do not have low margins over at Coinbase. I tell you that now. They have some crazy margins.
To take, commoditized business in his view. Do you have a view?
It's interesting, and I remember when he first started talking about this a couple years ago, just looking at the difference between then and now, it sounds like he's really talking about Coinbase as sort of a brokerage. And of course, when you talk to investors and analysts on the street,
yeah, imagine shorting this a few years ago saying, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's not good. All they do is the margins and stuff like that. Yeah, look at that. You would have lost a lot of money, and not just a little bit, but a lot of money right there.
Crypto company, people are so long on this name because of the nature of crypto. There's just so much more toward their business these days, which we're finally getting to see ramp up. They may be businesses that didn't really matter very much 2 years ago, like staking.
No, they mattered. Government just said, no, I won't flip you guys off. I'll do the three. They said no. They said no to the crypto world. They said no. They could have done it back then because, as you guys know, there was a lot of other exchanges doing it then, but they were the ones flying under the radar.
Like stable coins, we have Bitcoin ETFs now, which of course Coinbase does the custody on so many of them. So it is, I think, important to keep in mind that there is so much to this business beyond the trading.
Yeah, and speaking.
See, she wanted to disagree with him, but in a very polite way because she knows the other host is a little bit more anti-crypto.
Of Bitcoin, let's look at it because it was back above 100K, like 103. It's been an incredible return to these highs.
Yeah, absolutely. I had been talking to so many analysts, investors who said, we think that around now 100K is in sight, but this may not be the breakout to the all-time high that people are expecting. I think also because of how different the market is now with so much institutional demand, we might see this 4-year cycle extended. So if you're going by the 4-year cycle, 2026 would be the bear year, and we might actually not see all-time highs or peaks of this cycle until next year. You might see new highs later in the year. Third quarter, I think, is something that people are eyeing a lot because of the deadline for legislation getting signed and put on Trump's desk. But because we've got so much institutional demand, we just might see the peak not happen for a while now.
All right, thanks for helping us understand.
Great video. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. She's pretty knowledgeable about when she's talking about this type of stuff, so I like her a little bit. Now, Despite all that bad news with the SEC going after Coinbase having their own issues right there, this is all Coinbase's fault, it appears. So, well, we can hop into that a little bit more later on. But the one thing we do need to talk about here, based off of what she said, which I guess we've already talked about at length, is how Bitcoin may approach these next few weeks. Because typically, we were talking about in the beginning, I guess still over here, we talked about what would happen if Bitcoin had a breakout, and we talked about maybe some type of downward trend where Bitcoin would eventually break out, and that'd be the move towards all-time highs. I think that can still be the case, but I don't think necessarily we drop down so far if Bitcoin does give back a little bit of ground here. We could have 2 weeks of going down, with the third week having the pump and breaking us out. I want you guys just to be clear-eyed about that. These next few weeks approaching a breakout, I don't think they're necessarily going to be easy breakout moments, but the fact that all the economic data has been good so far, all of the inflation data has been very good, better than expectations. I think a lot of stuff is going our way right now, which should get Bitcoin pumping up. I'm not a Q3 type of person thinking Bitcoin has to go up in Q3. I think it definitely happens sometime early summer, even midsummer, getting close to Q3, but I'm more optimistic than she is, primarily just because inflation's still good. The Fed isn't really changing as much stuff right now, but we understand that their instinct is going to be to cut, not raise rates. And then you see a lot of countries starting to deploy more capital in their systems, which makes Bitcoin more valuable against those currencies as well, which is something I know we all want to see, because we all want to make a profit off of Bitcoin, even if it's in another currency. Okay, imagine if I was buying Bitcoin and selling it for like Thai baht or something like that. Oh my God, I might have to try that when I move over to Thailand. Just never know, right? And hey, Digital K, Lisa, happy to see both of you guys in here today. Howdy from sunny Las Vegas. I will see you in just a few weeks. I was talking with the Bitcoin Vegas team. They said, or I thought I was going to get a whale pass from them, but it turns out I'm absolutely not getting a whale pass. So I'm going to get myself a media pass, or a press pass, I think is what it's called. So I'll be swooping in a press pass. I'll be chilling, and I'll be there from, I think, Tuesday to Saturday, and I leave Saturday morning. So I'll be there for a minute. Fun fact, I was looking around actually on YouTube about different events, and one of my friends was like, hey, you see this event coming out? And I was like, what the heck is this? There is actually an XRP Las Vegas happening right after Bitcoin Vegas. And I guess it's kind of just trying to mooch off the Bitcoin Vegas vibe, because everybody's going to be in town, so why not do an event? But I was looking it up, and all it is, which is very, very weird, maybe this kind of reminds me of the Litecoin events a little bit, you're just sitting in chairs watching people on stage, and I don't know, if it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. I'm looking at all these videos, it's just people sitting. There's no expo hall, there's nothing to do like that, so I'm probably not going to go to it. I also asked them today if they had any media passes or press passes, and they said they don't actually do press passes, which is wild. So I'm not entirely sure how they do their marketing, probably how come I've never heard of them before, but maybe some of you guys have heard of them. So if you guys do want to learn more about XRP, maybe you guys can, and maybe not pay for it, because it seems like it's a ripoff. I think it's, how much is it? $507. To rip off just to sit down? No. Just to sit down for a few days? Oh, hell no. And it's in the MGM, not even a nice hotel like the Venetian? Yeah, I'm passing this one. Let me select tickets. After party? Oh, never mind. The after party is $500. The general admission is $900, and the VIP is $2,000. Early entry by 30 minutes, VIP lounge, access to all areas of the conference, preferred seating, open bar 2 days, lunch 2 days. Does not include the after party. What? Even $2,000 doesn't get you after party. Saturday, May 31st, 7 to 10, MGM Grand Ballroom, open bar, music, light refreshments, featured speakers and panelists, as well as top leaders in space. You're gonna charge? No, just no. That's terrifying. Does the general admission get into it? No. Okay, maybe this is not the best place. Wow. Is it new? Maybe it's new. I haven't had a chance to look at this before, XRP Las Vegas. I wonder how they're gonna do, because I am in awe of how bad that page was. To be honest. All right, let me go over here. And hey, Jamrock, I know I am liking the green screen as well. I've had this forever. I've done green screen with you guys before. I gotta get used to it again. The only thing that's bothering me personally is, so Loki is running around back and forth. So you see there's like a little green slip right here where my hand is. Whoop. That's because Loki over here, this little guy with his little ball in his mouth, is like, hey, I want to run by and I want to knock stuff over by the sheet. But I think it's fine because I can maneuver back and forth and stuff like that. But yeah, I ultimately love this thing. Here, do you want a treat? Loki's over here and he's trying to play. Yeah. Yep. Oh, you should, good boy. Yeah, then he goes right back to his toy. Then he goes back to sitting down to try to destroy a toy that is indestructible. Gonna say hi? No, see, he's getting his toy before he says hello. It's always a different thing with him. Come on. Because he wants to bite something, but he doesn't want to bite my hand. But, okay, he thought I was going to try to steal the toy. Whatever. But yeah, so XRP Vegas. Let me know what you guys think about that one, because that one just kind of shocked me quite a bit with how bad it is. But in short here, what I'm kind of expecting for Bitcoin, because I do think we have an opportunity to push up a little bit higher, is let me go to the 4-hour chart. I think Bitcoin has an opportunity to break out tomorrow, and for that to push us up towards 107,000. It should be a really nice breakout. A couple things you're going to need to see, a couple things you can do on your own charts in order to make this look a little bit nicer with you. Right, watch to see if this breakout really continues or not. If I go over here to the hourly chart, excuse me, right, we've had a few breakouts in the past here, nothing too crazy. The 4-hour chart is usually what I'm geared to, but we don't have any bullishness on the 4-hour chart just yet, so I'm a little bit more patient. If we can have everything pointing up with this chart, I think we at least start going back up to 105,000 bucks, and then sometime tomorrow morning, you know, like late morning, like East Coast mornings, not like early morning West Coast. Think of maybe 9 o'clock Pacific time, maybe noon tomorrow, I guess, maybe for the East Coasters. We have that push here. That's what I'm really hoping for right now. I don't really see too much of a panic here or anything like that, but that's what I would say the next move is going to be. Otherwise, we come back down here, and if we do come back down here towards 101,000, I think we do dip down, unfortunately, back into the 90s, and then we have a reversal, and then we have a quick pop that takes us up to all-time highs again. But for now, I think we do need to have that push sometime soon, relatively soon. Ethereum and a lot of other stuff. This is Ethereum 4-hour chart, right? Been good since the breakout over here, consolidating. Still fine, not really looking for a breakout or anything at this point in time, but just watching it. Solana at a low point here, maybe worth buying, especially if Bitcoin's going to try to break out. You may be able to get this back up here to maybe 175 bucks, maybe up here to 180. Probably I'd say 175, 176 would be a nice little range there for most of you guys out there. And then everything else, you know, it's waiting. But you can see some of these meme coins just giving back a little bit of ground here, as everything is basically waiting for Bitcoin to make that big move. Let me go over here to coinmarketcap.com, and these are the biggest moves of the last 24 hours. That's KuCoin's token, DEX, Hype, BitGet token, IP, right? Not a lot of green there. As far as coming down, WIF is down, ENA, TIA, these are all things that have had really good rallies over the past few weeks. Even, you know, ENA, I know this last 7 days haven't been good, but the last like 14 days are fantastic. Virtuals is down a little bit here. A lot of stuff is down. Even if you were to go over to, let's say, the top 200. Next space, Syrup, which we talked about before, those are the two that are giving you good profits today. Those are the only two. Flip it around a little bit more here, and everything is down 10, 11, 12%, a lot of stuff there. But have any of you guys heard of this next space, NXPC? Market cap is only 437 million. So that means a lot of money got pushed into it today. So NFT things, I'm guessing. And a groundbreaking blockchain ecosystem that goes beyond bounds of the original MapleStory MMORPG, designed to elevate the unique reward experience RX that MapleStory has delivered for over 2 decades. In this it takes this concept to an uncharted territories. I'm gonna follow them. They have a large following. They just posted 14 hours ago. Has some likes. So what did they post? Oh, so they launched a product today, and it looks like it's going well. So, all right. I can't also Universal dropped AVAX with its own LO1 chain.
What's in that's supposed to be in-game NFT assets.
So it's like a video game, but you get to play it more. Creative marketing director do at okay, here we go. Dukes. I gotta follow this. Bitcoin native stablecoin. Oh, okay, okay. So there's nothing too crazy. I was wondering if she was like a big gamer person. Maintenance scheduled area, maintenance fix. Okay, so they're letting people know the software updates. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know what you guys think about that. I think it's okay, but up 75%. Maybe if there's a dip, I'll buy into that and just try to ride a wave. Everything else, they got a YouTube channel too. Bloop. 2 weeks ago. Oh, I think there's people doing my yard right now. My gardener's here. Yeah, I think he is. Sorry. I was wondering why there was sound coming through my headphones. I'm like, I'm not singing. I'm not breathing overly heavy or something like that. All right, yeah. So yeah, there's people doing my stuff. Oh, and speak of the devil, here's Bitcoin trying to make a little bit of a push right now. Not a big push, but a push. In fact, you can see, I guess from there, we got a little bit of a breakout happening. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. For now, let's move this over a little bit here. And have that be the new changes because we're going off to 15-minute chart. Yeah, my microphone is so sensitive I can hear the gardening happening in my backyard. So if you guys are hearing a faint buzzing sound, I am sorry. That is just my gardeners doing their work. They do fantastic work, and my yard is very much overgrown right now, which means I should be letting them cut that grass. Like one of the pieces of grass today was like cool, like 5 feet tall. It was pretty insane. There we go. All right. So how are you guys doing? If you guys have any tokens you want me to check out, let me know. Sounds like a buying opportunity for a coin. Oh, yeah. Right. I know. It was a minute ago, but I know. Been interested in XXRP. It's a stock. Any thoughts? I haven't checked out XXRP. What is XXRP? Oh, 2x long daily XRP ETF. Yeah, we talked about this before. Sorry. I think if you like XRP but you don't want to hold it, this is definitely a good way to go. If you're not going to stake it, that's a good way to go. 2x isn't really going to really do too much for you, and I think the fees aren't really that bad either. So it's worth getting into that one if you don't want XRP. There are ways to do that type of move on exchanges. A lot of exchanges will have like a locked leverage setting where it's like 5x XRP, 2x XRP, 3x XRP. Yeah, they're definitely doing my yard right now, so I apologize for that noise. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's a good play here. Also, by doing the ETF instead of doing crypto, you can still make money both ways, right? But you do get the benefits of the FDIC insurance and the SPIC insurance, depending on how you invest in the money, which I think is actually a pretty good thing to not have to worry about. If you guys don't recall, back in 2022 when there was a bunch of people losing their accounts and stuff like that, there was no FDIC insurance to save the crypto guys. They were only there to save the wealthy elites on in New York City and things like that. Damn, I must have a lot of grass to be cutting back there. And Guten Tag Villa. Ooh. Almost had a little bit of a cinnamon in there. Interesting. All right. XRP doesn't need you to sell their scam. What do you call? I guess I've just been a fan of XRP for a long time, and it finally worked out, but it did take a little bit of time for me to do it. Is XRP worth investing in, or is it just a scam? No, I think it's worth investing in. They're actually doing something. So if you go to XRP, and again, you could always ask ChatGPT for a nice, easy answer. That being said, whatever this XRP Las Vegas is, this looks like a piece of shit. Okay? I will let you know when I think things do not look good. Despite it being a piece of shit, I did want to see what it's about, so I did ask for a pass, but they said they don't even have media passes, which to me is a huge red flag, especially as we were going over the prices. And again, the after party in a random ballroom is $507. They're not even having it at a club, actual club, like, Bitcoin Vegas is doing. Like, here, let me show you something very fast. Actually, before I go off on that tangent, let me just go to XRP. XRP.com. Crypto, I know. I should have said Ripple. Oh, it's xrpl.org. Okay, whatever. All right, the blockchain built for business, basically just moving money around for businesses. I like it. It's a good concept. Maybe a little bit outdated because there's so many people that can do it now, right? But this seems to be the one that has the connections in Silicon Valley, has the connections in New York City, where they're actually getting funding and investments, which is a really good thing for them, especially because there is going to be a large move for businesses that want to go into cryptocurrency but just don't know how. XRP is going to be able to help them out with that ledger program that they have, amongst a bunch of other stuff. But yes, it is a real business. I'm not saying it's a scam or anything like that. Now what I want to do is go over here to let's see. Let me see if I can find it very fast. I'm in a private chat room that you guys can never know about. And if I can find it very fast, I can see. Here we go. So this is a cool little spot called the Crypto Nomads Club, and these are just some of the events, not all of them, but some of the events that are going to be going on for Bitcoin Vegas, right? And you can see there's all types of events planned out for the next few days. There are events that aren't on here that I'm going to. But if I were to zoom in here a little bit so you can see, this is where the influencers and us, like we typically are looking for events that we may like. So I'm not going to be there Monday, so none of this stuff matters to me. I fly in like 8 o'clock Tuesday because I just want to put my bags in the hotel, check them in, and then walk right across the street literally to the conference. So there's Bitcoin Vegas right there, right? There's a Web3 pitch competition at DNA House. I'm going to this one. I don't think I'm going to the Founders Invest brunch. I think I applied, but I don't know if I'm going to get in because I'm not really an investor or a founder, but free brunch, I'll take it. And Scribing Vegas, I don't care about this one. Cocktail Hour invite only. Do I have it linked to event? Nope, this one is no longer active. I can't find it. But I am interested in going there. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I need the link. Taco Happy Hour Bitcoin Conference Las Vegas. I haven't signed up for this one, but maybe I will. This one actually just added. Web3 Investor Swore Away. No, I'm not going to that one. Bitcoin Ledge, yeah, they invited me, so I'm going to this one, the Bitcoin Economy Conference. That should be pretty fun. I'm going to this ACJR meetup. I'm going to the Sun Cocktails. I think I got into this one. I'm in. Yeah, so far there's only 65 going because they actually have to approve you by seeing your name. But I'm into that one, and there's a few other ones. Kraken Oceanic Night. Some of you guys, one of you guys was saying you're in Kraken. Kraken's a great exchange. It's just not available for me here where I live, which sucks. And then there's founders, mixers, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of events. You're not seeing any of this stuff, I don't think, on the XRP Vegas. So if I go over here, I think XRP Vegas on the 30th. Or let's go to Clear All. Anything going on the 30th? Golf tournaments, no. Explorer, Wealthy Cities, events, side events, and then we're going to go Consensus is happening. Banana Coffee. May, so we got Belgrade, okay. So there's Bitcoin, and then there's supposed to be XRP, but XRP is not even on this list here. If you guys wanted to go to Chex Crypto Week or Solana New York, you know, things like that can be cool. I think the next one I'm going to after Bitcoin Vegas, so like I'm not going to New York, I'm not going to Belgrade. I think I'm going to maybe permissionless. Where are we at? Oh, it's not even on here. I guess it's been a minute. But what do you call this? Another event that I like to go to is that Rare Evo. That one should be pretty fun as well. But yes, as far as XRP, yeah, we're fine. I like XRP quite a bit. Let me go back over here. Let me push this on. Let me put some music on, even if it's just at a low volume here. Might distract you from all of the gardening sounds going on right now. There we go. All right. People say, pay big bucks for those XRP conferences, kind of like what happened with that event that Trump coin came out. Yeah. Well, I always have friends going there anyway, so if there's any news, I'll know about it. But typically, I just don't care as much. I just wanted to see what it was about. But then the more I looked into it, I was like, man, I don't want to be sitting down all day. I really don't want, like, when I'm sitting down in a place like that, I feel like I shouldn't get up in the middle of somebody speaking to go out and just go chill. Because where this is at is, so where this one is at in particular is going to be right over here at MGM, right? I don't really do much over here on this side of the strip. Normally I'm on the north side of the strip in Fremont. That's my fun spot. But this year, you know, since it's in Venetian, I thought about, okay, I'll go over here to Treasure Island and walk across the street. But when I don't want to be here, you know, I'll simply just go walk across the street over here, and there's basically a cigar lounge over here for me to chill, right? You guys can see all this. Okay, there's not many photos of the outside area, but basically there's like a nice outdoor lounge area that's really chill, and I just go there. Even if I wasn't smoking, I'd go there just for a drink, you know what I mean? It's just a good place to chill and relax. There's the outside part behind, of course, behind my head. Yeah, there you go. And the networking that you do with other people that just happen to like crypto and cigars, it's always the best spot. It's always great. I love to network. Let me see what else we got over here. So while Bitcoin's going up a little bit today, Book of Meme is up a little bit more. You can see the dip it took beforehand though. Baby Doge is up a little bit. Not everything's really pumping right now. Gala's up a little bit, but again, you can see how they were trending down for a minute. Mog was sideways, now going back up a teeny bit, up 3%. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. And as far as XRP is still bullish, but it's having some issues breaking back above that 200 daily moving average. I would say for now, I would only be dollar cost averaging into it. Again, because Bitcoin hasn't had that clear breakout yet. If I can pull this back over. You can see we're slowly curling right now, and that curling is going to give you a little bit of divergence usually, but I mean, the MACD is actually working out pretty well. Still good, still good. Yeah, I'd be in dollar cost averaging mode, but I would have an open position just because this could break out again if Bitcoin breaks out the next 24, 48 hours. There we go. And so far, Bitcoin's not able to break out just there, but we're getting close. We even got rejected from the Fibonacci level too. Let's see. And hey, Charmander, happy to see you. What's for dinner? I didn't have anything for dinner. I think I'm probably going to have one of my factor meals or just a smoothie. Most likely just a smoothie. I was at the cigar lounge a few nights ago, and I asked for a chicken wrap, basically. So a grilled chicken with a salad instead of a wrap, and then you just eat it. They accidentally rolled a freaking toothpick into it, so I stabbed my gum, and I was like, ah! And I was in pain. Yeah, I was not a happy camper, and I let them know I was not a happy camper. See. And hey, Chairman, do you want me to check out XCN? Let me check it out here. XCN, let's pop this open very fast. Oh, this is a 15-minute chart. This thing is popping. What is it up? Why isn't it showing me how much it's up today? Well, at least since this morning, it ran up about a total of like 35-40%, which is really nice. Now let's back out of here very fast. Oh, this is not the first time it's done it. Not the first time it's done it at all. Now, have we had a breakout yet? That's the question. We have had a breakout. We should start going up towards 0.023. Sorry about that. In my defense, they're supposed to be here tomorrow, not today. That's why I'm streaming right now. But yeah, it's gonna get loud here. I'll just focus on the technical analysis for a quick second. It's not really accurate, is it? Better. Breaking out here. It should have a push. Oh, what's the market cap on this sucker? $710 million market cap. That's low enough where you can get it back up to all-time highs. So I'd probably see over the next few weeks, you're going to try to see it get back up here towards around 0.04 cents, 4 cents basically. In the meantime here, you're probably going to have some hiccups around 0.025. 0.029 and 0.0344. Talk about a rapid move here. This is just insane, and it's still finding the will to keep on going. Some profit taking happening, but definitely not enough. Definitely not enough. There we go. All right. Look at EOS. EOS right here. I'm guessing this is crypto. And it's volume. One indicator I never have anymore. So back up a little bit. How's the weekly chart looking then? Now when I see these moves, how much are we going up? We're going like 300%? Oh. This move was 180. Okay, I see what's happening now. Okay. And EOS is 1.2 billion. A lot, but not a heavy a lot. What the heck is going on here? There you go. I would still call this an accumulation zone down here. I would still be at dollar cost averaging for a larger move that pushes you back up towards like $2-3. I wouldn't really be caring too much about these nice little pops down here unless you're looking specifically just for a swing trade. If you're in a swing trade mode right now, you've officially hit the scaled out zone. You know, you can imagine like a halfway point of all the junk that's been happening here as everything's been like whoa, 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 all over the place. I'd probably say I'd be definitely, if I bought anywhere below this line, I'd be scaling out right now over the last couple days, last few weeks, excuse me. But if you're thinking about this in the longer term, you can still dollar cost average all throughout this, but your goal is going to be over here around $2 to $3, and that's not going to happen probably until at least the end of Q2, Q3 of this year. So it's going to be a longer wait, but I think it's worth waiting for a token like this. It still seems to be doing fine. Your stop loss would be this little bit of a drop over here around 44 cents. The upside is going to be a lot more, so it'd look more like don't know why the stop is all the way freaking down there. Right around here. We can call it the middle zone between this and the 200 moving average. So, you know, it's a ratio of like 3.81. That's plenty. That's, you know, as long as it's not 1, you're fine. But yeah, above 2 is fine usually in my book. So yeah, you're looking at a pretty good risk to reward ratio right there. I think it's worth taking, or if you're holding it, I'd still be holding at this point. I would have scaled out some by now, and if you still are in profit, I would still scale out some now anyway. And then from there, you know, try to push some of those larger moves. Garden gonna look fresh, dude? Yeah. All the windows? I know. Trust me, I do got a window open, but that's also because I'm smoking a cigar in the house. Nice little Placencia, 149. These ones are okay, but they're good. Yeah. So I hire these gardeners, but it's a whole family of them. So it's like the kids, the dad, the mom, all get together. So they're usually pretty efficient. They're usually going to be done pretty fast. This is like the first big grass cutting of the year, though. So like I do have grass that's like, like 5 feet tall. Maybe, no, like close to like 4 feet tall in my backyard. It's not like the whole backyard is like that, but it's like little patches are like around the bushes and stuff like that where that longer grass grows. So I need that grass cut. I want there to be a nice outdoor area for my dog to play around in and chill. You know what I mean? It's not for me, it's for him. I don't spend much time in my backyard. Maybe in my front yard, but Loki spends all the time in the backyard there. Okay, I do want to plant some freaking, what do you call it? I want to plant some carrots. I want to plant some berries and shit and see if anything grows. And I'm going to put Loki out there to guard it from all the freaking animals. I get bunnies and stuff out here, and Loki loves to kill a bunny. And hey, Goya Supreme, happy to see you, man. Let me roll my yeah, right. Oh man. Hey Tony, sorry about that. I know it's the gardeners. The gardeners are gardening. They're spraying stuff. They're weeding stuff. They're killing stuff. They're chopping stuff. It's that time of year where you have to pay someone to do your yard. I am not built to be doing yards, I guess, but I think actually my last lawnmower got stolen. I don't even know where it's at. It should be my shed, but there's no lock on my shed, so I think somebody took it. Sounds like the guys with the leaf blowers this morning by my house. Trust me, dude, I know all about it. Especially after spring kicks in, they come out in full force. That's nice and clean. And I don't want to have allergies, so if all that shit's chopped down, I don't have to like get my eyes sealed closed from all the pollen in the air. And hey, Danzing, gotta get out there and cut my grass. Been slacking outside, dude. Everybody slacks with cutting the grass. Nobody wants to do it, unless the neighbors that I have that actually do their own yard. They all have those sit-down mowers. We're like, you know, having a good old time, and I'm just like, maybe that'll be me one day, but I just don't want to go buy one of those things because I would have to get like a nice outdoor area to store it. And right now my shed is like full of old stuff that I don't need, not new stuff that I'm actively using. Like I haven't used my shed in like a year, right? Maybe it'll fit in my garage perhaps, but like, you know, then Loki might sniff it or turn it on by accident. I'd be terrified. So yeah, let's not do any of that type of stuff. All right, there we go. I can't hear it as much as you guys can, to be frank, because I got these nice headphones on, the noise canceling, but I hear what the mic is picking up. So it's going through the mic and I hear it through my ears right now. And yeah. And then when I'm not talking, you can see this little thing happening right here. All right. That's showing me that there's the natural audio. Like, I'm not saying anything now. Now, if I talk very loudly, you guys can hear me faintly without having noise outside, but it's just not going to be worth it. All right. I don't even know if you guys could hear anything I just said right there, but yeah, it's going to be loud for a few seconds, and I definitely apologize for that. Oh. Windows be doing too much with all these moving screens to try to make everything easier for me. There you go. Oh, Bitcoin's getting rejected here a little bit. That's not good, because we start breaking down. That's how we end up all the way down here. Hopefully we find a higher low situation. So in the morning time, like we were talking about, the morning is when we actually have that nice break out there. Oh, let me get the volume off of here. I don't like volume, but I'll save it just in case any of you guys want to see in the future. A volume on the other chart looked fine as well. Handle it's early, breathe easy, boys. Yeah, there you go. I got to walk behind. I used landscape for years and ain't cut my grass in months. See, I used to have one of those. I used to have one of them because my grandfather's backyard was on a massive hill, and it just helped it a lot. But I haven't had one in a minute. Heck, you know, when I was a kid, we had those ones where there was no gas in them, and I was like, they were just like blades, you know. That was an interesting time right there. And we're still seeing kind of a mixed bag right now. It looks like a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of cryptocurrencies were trying to break out right as Bitcoin was trying to break out, and it just wasn't happening. So I think things have calmed down a little bit here. 102, 103. Yeah, that's what it's been doing for a while now. I'm hoping we can actually have a strong breakout. I know we had that little bit of a spook today with the Coinbase, right? There we go. The Coinbase investigation and the Coinbase hack. But I haven't heard anything to suggest that this caused Bitcoin to have some type of crash. This morning crash happened around 11:15 in the morning. I wonder if we can time to see what time this came in at 2:40, 2:34 Eastern. So what is that? 2:34. That's 11:34. Oh, that could have been around the same time actually. Yeah, that was around the same time. Kind of around it, a little bit later than the news, but yeah, actually you could say that this Coinbase news was actually the main reason that Bitcoin fell down earlier today, and it managed to recover here, but it's still that momentum knocked it down a peg, which means we have to wait a little bit longer. To me, that symbolizes that the market still wants to go higher. And then when we had the news coming out this morning, yesterday I believe, here we go. I'm just going for stuff I already watched. There we go. Remember, I'm not going to play the audio of it. But remember, yesterday we had a good PPI where it was down negative. It was down 0.5% versus the up 3.3%, but that was expected, or that was estimated, whatever, right? So we have all this good news. We just need Bitcoin to follow through, and I think we're going to be fine. But I'm still in the dollar cost average mood right now. Maybe a little bit more heavily on some of the dollar cost averaging at this point. Especially for some of those tokens that haven't really ran up. One of the reasons I wanted to be a Finviz, like a Finviz scanner, like but for crypto, the closest thing we have right now is going to be TradingView. So I'm gonna open up a new TradingView page. I'm just gonna open up some like Ethereum or something to see on Supercharts. And let me go over here very fast and get rid of that because that doesn't even make sense. Here's a scanner, okay, for cryptocurrency. So we have to go over here to the filters. Symbol type any. Futures perpetual. I guess we want to do day trading, right? Exchange, we can do any exchange for now. Market cap, let's do 500 million. Does that make it into 500 million? No, okay. 2 billion to 300 million. That's a good range here. And then we want change 1 month. No, we shouldn't do it this way. What's the best way to do this? Above. Can I not change the value right now? Well, yeah, I know. Oh, are you kidding me? It reset. No, it didn't reset. It just has that. Where is the last one? Okay, forget about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Reset all. There's everything we need. Below 2 billion, fine. 10 billion. Let me see if I can go in here, year-to-date performance. Above 10%. Okay, here we go. For the last week, and then change. Ether. Looking for stuff that hasn't really been moving too much over the last few weeks. Marinade is having crazy volume right now. Or why don't we just go off a volume change? Rally. So that's stuck on Bitstamps and that's nothing real. Here's one, okay. Have we talked about Marinade? I don't really remember Marinade on here. Oh, nope, don't care about that. Marinade. This is a weekly chart. It's already started to pop, but it hasn't really popped big yet. So last 2 weeks, this is up around what? 112% now, just up 55. Hit the resistance, got rejected. The daily chart, all within 1 day. Ooh, bad liquidity though. No, I'd say this is something you could buy, but you're not going to be trading it. Never mind. I was hoping for a little bit better results, but that's okay. I'll have to dive deeper and look for some tokens in there. They just updated their screener settings, which pisses me off because it takes a long time to relearn everything that got in there. But I would still say that Coinbase has the best screeners possible right now. NLP Mayor Productions, happy to see you. Smoking on, I know, right? You gotta push them along? Yeah, old types of, how much? Old mowers. How much can I bench? I haven't benched in a while. I'm in a minute. I only do machine benching now because it doesn't hurt my elbows and my, as much. Even when I do triceps, I don't do the triceps over the head anymore because that hurts my elbows. Bench. Last time I benched, it was probably around 45, 90, 90. No. Like around like 150 to 200 pounds, something around that range. I'm not entirely sure which one. Like if I do it on a machine, there's no real weight compared to like the bar, which you got to add on there. That one is like 180. But I would assume if I actually had to do the stabilization of a bar, it'd be a lot worse. Right, because if I do the machine like where you're just like this, maybe a slight incline or something, there's just a 45 or 45, which is 90, then the other two 45s, which is 180. So it's really just like 90 pounds an arm, I would say. Together, 180. But it's not really together, because, you know what I mean? It's a little bit different. I used to have a pair of grass shears. I never used them, but it was a novelty item for a landscaper. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? yard maintenance is a great thing. I mean, besides the fact that, you know, it's noisy and stuff. But what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna what I need to do is I need to buy some type of thing where I can wear it and it just shows my camera in front of me and recording me as I'm walking around. I need to go to Home Depot, get some weed killer, get one of those things where like it goes into the dirt and it pulls at the whole root of the weed, and then from there I just make a pile out of them, and then I chill the day doing that. That'll honestly probably be more of a Sunday type of thing for me. But I do need to go to the store and buy some stuff up. I got a bunch of weed cleaner right here. I got a bunch of spray. We got to pump it, and you know, and I get my anti-ant spray because those micro ants are no joke. You guys can't see, but you guys can see when I do my videos and stuff like that. Remember, my backyard is let's go over here very fast. My backyard. Yeah, my backyard's like this. Right? See, there's some weeds and stuff, but it's not like it's like full of tall grass. The grass grows around the trees and stuff like that. I've killed most of the grass on purpose because I hate to do it in the yard. But you can see there's a fence, but my backyard is just full of freaking trees and stuff, like full of trees. Neighbor's backyard on the side of the fence, it's like you can't even see their house. That's how many trees they have on their property. Lots of stuff. And then of course Loki digging holes and stuff like that. But generally speaking, my backyard is basically just trees and stuff. A few cherry blossoms. I even put out a video about the cherry blossoms. Yeah, cherry blossom season. Look at this. See, I even got some cherry blossoms. If it zooms in a little bit right here. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I get myself some zen time in my yard for sure. But most of the time, it's just for Loki. And you can see Bitcoin getting pushed down after getting rejected off this breakout here. Looking above my head here, you can see a lot more red on the screen, can't you? Everything is basically up or minus a %, and every time Bitcoin makes a move, it kind of flips over a little bit. I don't see that's a bad thing, though. It's a bit meditative working with plants and the earth in general. I think so. That's why I really enjoy going out and camping. Now, I don't camp in tents like I used to. Up until like maybe 3 years ago, I was camping with no tent and just out in a sleeping bag. Terrifying. Don't do it. But now, I'm just like, you know, if I'm going to go camping, I'll sleep in my car, put the passenger seat and recline, and like, you know, I'll pass out. Or if I'm taking Loki, it'll just be a day trip and I come back home here. I don't want him wandering around at night because he does like to wander when I camp. Ever since I was a puppy, he'd be wandering around, going after squirrels and all types of shit. There we go. Yeah, I like my backyard a lot. This is a very nice house. I do enjoy it. And it's a nice house that I get all to myself, which is even better, right? Well, and Loki, of course. Alright, so let's get at this. XRP, yeah, we don't need that for now. We can go over here and see if there's anything happening for Bitcoin. I think all the news today, I can check it very fast for you guys. It's not Bitcoin related at all. Comey, 911 on ABC, Robert Nash, Jamal Murray, some basketball, director of the FBI. Damn, what did Comey do? What did he do? Breaking, Tulsi Gabbard just called for James Comey to be arrested, says that he issued a hit on America and President Trump. He absolutely knew what 86 meant. What did he do? 8647. It may be because I grew up in the ghetto. That is not a good thing to post anywhere. What did 86 mean to him? Hold on.
And with words like that, president is using a fire hose to spray.
Oh, that's old. That's nothing new. Okay. Damn, you know what's crazy? There's not even security notes on this thing. There's not even notes. '86 is a term used by Antifa militants and street gangs, meaning kill. Yeah, but I say street gangs, not Antifa. Who cares? Street gangs are who use 86. Why did he say 86? Oh, here's a comedian note. 86 is primarily used as a slang for removing an unrelated patron from a bar or restaurant. The gang usage is less prevalent. I wouldn't say that's true, but again, I happen to be from an African American community. I grew up in the ghetto. That is not how I envisioned 86 going. Phrase out 80 miles out and 6 feet under. Damn. Okay. Well, there's a battle. I like how there's a battle going on in community notes, just like there's a battle going on in the comments. Damn. Okay. Hold on, there's so many lyrics in these songs that I told it not to have anybody speaking in them. There you go. Well, it might not play for a second here. Okay, Bitcoin. Hackers demand 20 million from Bitcoin. And Bitcoin from Binance threatening to leak customer data. That's not good though, because that means potentially all of our addresses and names and end of our social security numbers are going to be leaked. And if they're leaked, anybody can pretend to be us and get into our account saying, "Oh yeah, I live at this place, so and so house. You know, my last 4 digits of my social is this, and this." That's not good. That's not good at all. Fuck Coinbase for losing our data. Sell a tooth if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. It's okay, dude. You can I wouldn't sell a tooth. I'd sell some Bitcoin before I sold my tooth. Yeah. JP Morgan says Bitcoin to outpace gold in 2025. This is cool. This is made of AI. Wow. I think even... Hold on a second here. Yeah, Sora. So I can describe my image. I want to do a video that's 720 Bitcoin rich gold, and just hit 5 seconds. Yeah, 5. That's all I can do right now. 5 seconds and hit create video, and it's added to the queue. I've tested out Sora a few times, but I really haven't found anything that I've liked to use. Let me see. Let me try. This was the first time I ever used Sora. Isn't that the most boring video you've ever seen? Financial despair. Yeah. Obviously, you can tell it needs some work. Puppy playing outside. This one was getting better. Skydiving encounter. Yeah, so that's skydiving. Now I did a typo in this one, so this one might have been my fault. But man jumping from plane and landing in water, then sees giant water snake from the man's point of view, right? Didn't really work out. Burning wealth extravagance. Senators and government burning money. What I love about this piece is how casual everybody is. Everybody expects this to be normal. And I guess in government, it is normal. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to use AI like this in presentations in school, so you could better articulate your thoughts by showing, imagine a group of like old senators burning Americans, like your tax dollars, right? I like how it tries to shake the camera a little bit here. It says 2 videos queued. Oh, did I mistype here? No, Bitcoin rich gold, yeah. So we'll see if it pops up here and what it looks like in a second. There we go. So that's why you should have cold storage? Well, yeah. Hey, I get it. I get it. There's just a bunch of people that don't do it. And again, I have cold storage assets, but I also use Coinbase. I also use crypto.com. And the reason is, most people need to have a vehicle to turn the crypto profits that they make from day trading back into cash and back into their bank account, right? So imagine me having a Boeing credit union account, right? With Coinbase, I can put my cash from my bank account onto Coinbase. I can buy all the crypto I want to. I can send that crypto off to a Ledger Nano wallet or, self-storage, right? But eventually, let's just say that money, that one Bitcoin that I bought for 20,000 bucks, it ends up being worth $1 million bucks. I'm like, oh shit, I really need to sell this to I want to go buy something nice. I've earned it, right? So I have to take that, send one of the Bitcoin I have over to my Coinbase account, sell it for cash, and then I have to withdraw it over into my bank account. That's what Coinbase is basically for most people these days. It's not so much of a vehicle for trading because, again, I trade leverage. That's what I do. I trade leverage, and leverage works out, right? Good. Maybe even Coinbase has leverage now. I think they said something about perpetuals. Last time I opened up the app, like, hey, check out our perpetual system. Let me see. Hold up. And there we go, Coinbase. And I can show you, I only have 18 cents in my Coinbase account because all I do use it for is for transactions. And now it says protect yourself from scams. Stay aware of support scams. Learn more about how to protect yourself. And funny enough, I have been getting, I did get an email this morning. Yesterday, maybe? No, I deleted it, shit. It basically said, hey, somebody is trying to withdraw crypto from your Coinbase account. If this was you, no worries. But if this wasn't you, please call this number and bring this code up, right? I have no money to withdraw in the first place in my account, so I know it was a scam. So they were scamming me, pretending to be Coinbase, saying that, hey, somebody's trying to use your account, right? That type of stuff is bad. So you guys, if you have a Coinbase account, watch it. Right now, I just have a text from 11 Labs verification code, and I have one from my friend Ronald for take some photos of me at a cigar event, which were some pretty cool photos. So I was looking stylish. But yeah, oh no, that wasn't even the reason I opened up Coinbase. That scam stuff overtook all my thoughts and the reasonings. Here we go. Yeah, so now there's something called this. I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry. I'm not going to like zoom in for you guys. Derivatives trading is now 24/7 on Bitcoin and Ethereum markets. Access leverage, hedge your risk, and diversify your portfolio with regulated futures offered by Coinbase Financial Markets, right? So I haven't set up the account yet, but you could. I don't want to keep my money on there, right? Coinbase has a lot of problems sometimes. And hey, Lisa, 86 is a term we use in California when a patron isn't welcome or an establishment. See, that blows my mind because that is not how I see it, right? If I see it, I'm like, oh, damn, he's about to get shot. But again, remember, I grew up here in Tacoma, which is sometimes called Tacompton. It's a lot better nowadays. But I grew up, well, it's not even there anymore. They tore down all the buildings for nice new buildings. But I grew up, that's the community garden. I grew up here, but in a much shittier house. And I used to go play in this backyard area, which is a steep hill, and there was a tree that I used to climb when I was a kid, and I think it's this tree right here that kind of overtowers some other ones. So I grew up here, but just in a very shitty house. And then I got moved over here, and another shitty house. There was houses lined up here. This road wasn't even there back in the day, and there was just like an open grass area in the middle and a whole bunch of grass here that they never developed. And then I moved over here to one of these places, which was newer because they built up this area first. And like literally just a couple days ago, there was a big old shooting right here by the park. So yeah. And then of course, you know, there was this horrible Mexican club by where I lived called like El Caballo or something like that. Whatever that is. Yeah. Nightclub and saloon. Yeah. The music would be bumping so loud I could not sleep from my house over here. But after I left this area, you know, and I got some money and I was working and stuff like that, then I was able to move to downtown Seattle, you know. Then after downtown Seattle, I moved back down to Tacoma because I'm like, what am I doing spending $3,000 a month on rent? Then I lived here, and this place. Oh, that's just, well, you walk in those doors over there, you walk up the steps and you go to, so this is 25 Northeast Street. I think this is mine was 15 Northeast Street. Let me find it. There we go. Well, this wasn't my unit, but, oh, this is a different unit, yeah. But then I lived here. Next to a massive school, and where there wasn't a parking lot here, it was actually a garden. It was a garden. It was a good garden. And I used to park over here before I got myself a 2-person park spot. But you know, water, it was a nice view. I loved it. But back when I was a kid, oh damn, it was all about the ghetto, the ghetto, the ghetto. I'm happy I no longer live in the ghetto. I've worked myself up. Might have taken 10 years, but I did it. Might have taken a little bit of time, but I did it. The 86 was the year of my old Supra. Did I get a verified tax status on Coinbase recently? I have not gotten anything like that from Coinbase recently. Nothing like that. Let me check my email very fast just to let you know. So Coinbase. A withdrawal, a withdrawal, a withdrawal, a withdrawal. It's usually just withdrawals, and you got. Oh, it said update your account protection coverage. Try recurring buys for a shot at 1 Bitcoin. Nope, nothing like that. A bunch of contests to win money. A lot of you received crypto. And then some stuff like update your account protection coverage. We are expanding your Coinbase One account protection benefit to cover a broader set of eligible unauthorized transfers. If you have not already set up a passkey or security key as the only two-step verification method for your account, you'll need to update your settings to activate your account protection. Maybe that? Yeah. Due to this expanded coverage, the updated benefit is capped at $10,000 in restored funds. 10,000 bucks. Not really a lot. That's not even. I imagine you lose a whole Bitcoin and like, ah, here's 10,000 bucks. You know what I mean? Like it's not enough. That's why usually self-storage is better. But you know, with all the exchanges I work with, they don't really have big benefits or big FDIC things, right? Which is why most of the time you take your profit, you put it towards a crypto token, and you put it into your cold storage. Puget Sound area is pretty big in summer. Oh yeah, it's great. I love it. I got friends all over the place. I got wealthy friends. They got boats and shit. They got yachts and stuff. It's a good time for me. And I just give out some general crypto advice saying, hey, this is what I think about the market. Like, I talk to you guys about the 100 and 150 weekly moving averages on Bitcoin quite a bit. You know, but we know we talk a lot, guys, right? Me and you, we talk almost every day. We talk, and I talk a lot. With these guys, I maybe see them once a month. They're like, hey, Mike, I'm throwing a party. We're bringing the boat out. It's just got de-winterfied or whatever. Come talk with us about crypto. Sure. I'm like, okay, I'll be up there hanging out with people. Then for like maybe 10 minutes of the trip, somebody wants to know about crypto, and I blow their mind talking about and pulling out my phone, trading view. Hey, look at the 150 weekly moving average or the 100 weekly moving average. You trade any stock that's a growth stock or a cryptocurrency on this thing, you're going to be making money if you're patient. And what do the wealthy have? The patience. So they make money over a few years and like, oh, Michael, thank you so much. You know, let me take you out to dinner. Let me do something. And, you know, that's how I enjoy some nice things. But they, you know, they have the patience. They're making so much money. It doesn't matter if they lose like 50% of their value, right? They're like, oh no, this 10,000 bucks I tossed in, this 100,000 bucks, it went to 50,000. Let me add another 50,000 in there, double down, and I'll wait a few years. It's crazy stuff like that. It's, you know, so they're more disciplined when it comes to investing. They're what I wanted to be when I was like, you know, in college. That's the type of discipline I want. Now most people still want money fast, which is why I do day trading and swing trading with you guys. Right now, if you did any of the, even if you did the dollar cost averages with me, right? That's 60% up for Pepe. Melania's down 92, but it was profitable at one point. We just didn't scale up because I wanted to hold this for a little bit of time, but right, bought over here, it went higher, much higher. Then of course we didn't sell, even though that was probably a good opportunity to sell. Maybe. Let me see. Trend based. Yeah, hit the one level right there. Hit the one level, even if it was for a few minutes. So my one level is white because I set it to white, but typically it's gray. At least I think it is for mine, right? Yeah, mine's white. So you could have made money off of it at least. Book of Memes up 400%. Ape is up 156, and Solana's up 102. So things, generally speaking, they're working out. I like it. I think, hold on a second here. Literally half of tomorrow's stream, because I didn't do enough of it today, was so I'm doing the capture for a sign-in very fast. Login succeeded. There you go. Basically, like half of tomorrow's stream is just going to be doing some futures trading. And we don't have any trades open here yet. When I toss in a little bit of money in here, and this is their exchange token, which is doing fantastic, I might add. I have a few $100 worth of it. So we'll see if this makes me any money. But it's already ran up from like. No, this isn't it. That's not. Oh, I see. I saw, my bad. This is a Syndex Bitcoin. What do you call it? This is just the Bitcoin one. So yeah, it should still make me money. What is there? I don't think you can trade their token actually on futures. Yeah. All right, that's fine. Forget about it. But yeah, we'll go through the list of tokens and we'll see if there's anything we like. Here's the futures. All right, so they got enough of what I'm looking for right now. Of course, everything's down today, so I kind of want to take advantage. Like, People's down 26%. Sorry, this is a monthly chart. Probably looks so freaking weird to you guys. People. Maybe I should dollar cost average into that as well. Maybe 5x leverages, and we'll build up over time. Maybe we'll just do 10x leverages, but less money. That could also be a fun thing to do as well. But yeah, that's what tomorrow's going to bring. I was going to do it today, but I just totally spaced. What did I do today? Oh, I cleaned my kitchen. You know, some of those adult things we all have to do. Yeah. And it's customizable, which is just... I cannot stress how much I like being able to do this without like any worries. I don't know if you guys do this with your exchanges or not, but I like being able to make the screen just look a little bit larger. Weeks does it to a certain degree. Oh no, they don't anymore. Never mind. You can't alter it. You can make it go full screen though if you wanted to. Who wants to go full screen? I don't know, not me. But yeah, so yeah. Still hoping for Bitcoin to have a big breakout tomorrow. That'd make my day. And so for the 3 weeks, our summer officially starts in July. So this is the weather for this. Oh shit, you guys can't see none of that. Thursday, rain. Friday, rain. Saturday, rain. Sunday, rain. Monday, rain. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Wednesday, rain. Thursday, partly cloudy. I mean, yeah, that's that's the Pacific Northwest in the middle of May. It's sad, isn't it? But Bitcoin is gonna spice up our spring here, I guess. It's gonna heat up our spring, whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna see a nice, beautiful breakout tomorrow that really makes everybody really excited. I'll be so disappointed if we're not able to break out by tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're gearing up for a larger move, like oh my god, is that Bitcoin? Oh. Never mind, sorry. I was looking at that and I was like, what the heck does that mean? Okay, yeah. So like, how about we do this? Let's go limit order 1 hour chart. And let's go with let's do this. Okay, hold on. So let's do $25. Will it let me though? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, that's still a lot of money I'm investing in there, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably not the wisest thing to do. All right, let's just go to. Yeah, that's not as bad. $101.2. Yeah, let's just go 101. Minus 60% on that. Or, no, let's just go back to normal way. Alright, let's just go. Why is it doing it like that though? And short. Oh, only the long. Oh, that's why it's okay. Stop loss. Yeah, okay. Target price last. What about 3? Let's just hope for 105.5. $106 then. Let's open a Bitcoin long right now and see what happens when you stream tomorrow afternoon. I think that'll be fine. Let me refresh this so we can see it up there. Oh, it didn't open? Really? Still open. Did I wait that long? 789? I did wait that long. My god, okay. I guess there was a spike happening right there. $1,000, 25x leverage. 102. Forget about target price, we'll deal with it later on. Let's go above. There we go. We're now officially unch, or down 0.02%. Okay, that's fine. We'll see what happens. Probably not the best to be trading right here at this resistance, but we're gonna have some fun with it. Momentum is still strong, and again, remember guys how I trade. I know the weekly chart, when it gets green, sometimes we can stagnate for a little bit. For example, right here. Well, we stagnated for 1, 2, and like before we had that big move, although that was election season, so a little bit different. If you're doing less leverage like we're doing with the other positions, you're waiting for that move. This one's basically just hoping for a big break that happens sometime in the next 24 to 36 hours. I don't think it'll be that bad, so or that long to wait. So let's see if we can get it done. We're already at 0.7%, everybody. 0.7%. There we are. Okay. Yeah, we should be good there. And then back over here to the 1. I got somewhere to be at 7 o'clock, but I want to see if Bitcoin actually breaks out. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And all of a sudden, everything above my head is mostly green now. Oh, futures for the day turned to red, though. Interesting. Let me go over here to CNBC. Those futures are delayed by 15 minutes because I don't want to pay the hefty fee to see them. But yeah, they're all still down a little bit. Former FBI Director James Comey under investigation for posts seen as potential threat to Trump's life. Oh, damn. So he's under investigation. Nothing's going to happen to him. Nothing's going to happen to him. But, like, people need to be careful that they understand what they're posting. Because if, we're talking about the 86. And 86 is a term, it means different things to different people. He probably should have known better than to post that. Being in the FBI, knowing what different gangs use for people, I think he should have known that, to be honest. But he, you know, he hasn't been in the news cycle for a minute. Maybe he just wanted to just toss his name back in there. Oh. Click to view. The fuck? Sorry for the language. Bitcoin rich gold. Like, what? Okay, hold on. Edit prompt. So, Bitcoin covered in liquid gold falling from sky. Bitcoin covered in liquid gold falling from sky. There are certain things that GPT is not really moving into, and I can understand it because it is very perilous because you can do a lot of weird stuff with AI. But damn, I'm paying for this. This should be much better than this quality. It should be much better than this quality. These are great little gifts, though. I'll tell you that now, though. Great little gifts. Let's go back over here to the 5-minute chart. Still facing some issues here. It did break out again. Little teeny one. Here's the second chart. Little baby pop, little support there. The 1-minute chart, cop out the oscillators. Well, whatever gain I had is gone now. No, I'm up 2%. Yeah, I'm up 2%. That's fine. No, but see, I fucked up here somehow because I didn't put. I should have done the other way, where the money is not the total. That's fine though. We're going off of percentages here, I guess, for most of you guys. Now, please let it just have a big, beautiful breakout. I'd be much happy with that. Rain equal depressing. That's why we have so many serial killers out here in the Northwest, because of all the rain. Apparently, it's like that depressing. April, May are the best time for Puget Sound 675 weather most of the time. Oh, it's a beautiful time. Unicorn fart dust is gonna blast. Unicorn fart dust. You know what? I'll take some unicorn fart dust. Excuse me. I'll take it. Could be a good what? High aphrodisiac. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff you could do with unicorn dust. Fart dust in particular. I lived up there a few years and 3 weeks, not a cloud though. LL Puget Sound. Yeah, it just depends. It just depends on what's happening here. But I'll say when it comes to the Puget Sound, when it's nice and warm, it is very nice and warm. You can do whatever you want to. People go hiking, everything. You really get to enjoy yourself. I go out to the water, I get fresh oysters, and I cook them right up there. It's a really good. It's a vibe. It's a lifestyle. You know, and if I want to go somewhere, I can drive up to Canada. I can drive down to Oregon. You know, maybe even Idaho if I wasn't black. So you can do a lot of fun stuff, right? You can do at least do some cool stuff. 10 trillion total market cap soon. Come, Michael. Yeah. Well, so far we're doing good. Up 3% so far. Man, I should have done the 400x leverage, shouldn't I? I'd be in and out in a heartbeat. But see, I'm too cautious as an investor. You can sense that I think there's a move happening, right? But at the same time, my mind is like, don't do heavy leverage because that's not a good learning opportunity. And then my mind also goes to like trying to reinforce it by saying, okay, well, we have this trend line we're trying to break out of, sure, because we're bullish for tomorrow morning. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, we still have this Fibonacci level to break out above as well. So maybe that's where we eventually get slammed back down or something like that, which is why my stop loss is all the way down here or down here, right? Because I want to see a really nice move. Technically, my stop loss should be right here at 103.446 or 466. But I don't care at this point because it's not that much money I invest. I think it's $1,000 with 25x leverage, so it's but it's not like a full $1,000. It's like $1,000 is total. So if it goes on 25%, it's not like I'm losing $250. I'm not making as much either, which is why I was like contemplating for a few minutes over here with this setting. Yep, we're up 4%. I'll take it. And again, there's a little bit more green above my head as well right now. WIF is still popping up a little bit. WIF would be a great day trade for a lot of you guys out there. Same with Floki. They're still breaking out above those previous highs, right? Jasmine's creeping up for a breakout, which looks good. Theta's up a little bit. Sushi's up a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad right now. No one said Comey was smart. Yeah, I know. The more I've been involved in politics, the more I realize people are not smart in politics. They're greedy, you know? Like you go over here to JD Vance doesn't know that much about crypto. Loomis doesn't know too much about it. The Suns don't know that much about crypto. David Sachs knows a lot. Saylor knows a lot, right? These guys know a lot. But the politicians in here, they probably know the least out of anybody on this big headliner page. But that doesn't matter because these people, right, have the most power when it comes to Trump's administration over even David Sachs, right? So I'll have them there. I want to talk to them if I get the chance. It'll be hard, but I want to talk with them. And I'm like, yeah, let's do some stuff here, right? Ross, JD Vance, Michael Saylor, Senator, Crypto Czar, Executive Director of the President's Council of something, right? Robinhood Chairman, view all. Go down a little bit here. There we go. Peter Schiff. Why is he there? I don't know, but I like to see him there. He'll get booed. It'll be hilarious. Wait for it. I'm looking for a specific person. Trump Jr. Yes. Eric Trump. Yes. Jim Justice, U.S. Senator for West Virginia. Bill Hagerty, Senator for the United States. Majority Whip for the House of Representatives. Right. Commissioner for the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Right. Altcoin Daily guy. You know, there's a bunch of good stuff here. So they'll be here, you know, bit by bit. We'll pay attention to them. I'll try to talk with them if possible. But I'm basically going to be learning, like, where you guys going to deploy your money? How you guys want to do this type of stuff, right? So, oh, there we go. A little bit of resistance there. Yeah, I probably booked at the high of a higher low situation where we're going to be going higher and higher, but it's going to take a minute. But yeah. Dude, 90s feel like 70s in Florida because the difference in humidity, it's like night and day. Freaked me out the first time I felt zero humidity and 90s temperatures. Oh yeah, it's a fun one out here. But what's interesting about Washington State in particular here, so I remember there was a time I walked up this hill because my mom went to the hospital when I was younger and I was working downtown at the time, and I was working in this building over here, the Dexter Horton building. And my mom said she was getting moved up to Harborview because she burned her feet. She spilled some boiling water, but because she had neuropathy, she didn't know she burned her feet. So all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, my feet are burning," and this is the only burn unit in the area. So I walked up the hill to this hospital right here, which is like a ghetto as fuck hospital. But I was right here, so I walked up this hill. So it doesn't look that bad, right? You go down. Oh, did I just go the opposite way of I was supposed to go? I totally did that. Haha. Oh, I wasn't on the right street. There you go. Oh, it doesn't look that bad when you're in the car. But yeah, basically, I walked up this entire hill. I should probably... How do I do this? No, it doesn't let me do it like that. Okay. Once we get down a little bit, this is the halfway point. You kind of see the hill that I'm walking up right now. It looks like more like that. And then... you go all the way down. Now Dexter Horton is across the street over there. Because where I go from my my club now. Dude, imagine me working in an office down here, right? Right over there. And now I'm in a club that's way up there. Damn. Upward mobility is great if you like have no life and all you do is work. But literally, that's the hill I had to walk up in dress shoes. It was horrible. Notice anybody else walking? You know, one person here going from side to side. There we go. Oh, I thought it was a scooter, right? Oh, homeless guys. But still, that guy's not homeless. That guy's just chilling, listening to music. But yeah, different type of vibe. Damn, homeless tents over here. Yeah, Seattle will be kind of sketched out. Oh, look at that little drugs, as long as they're not like crazy. I'd rather have a homeless person have a dog than that's been spayed and neutered rather than it's staying in the kennel, because that kennel life just sounds so sad. Yeah, there's Dexter Horton building. There's a good Pierogi place over here, but I think it moved. No, there's Pierogi on 3rd. Fucking great spot. Yeah, if you ever want to work corporate, it can be a mind fuck if you guys aren't used to seeing homeless people. Like, as you're in your cushion job, you're making your money, you're going back to your nice apartment or your nice house, but as soon as you get back to ground level, you're just like, you know, shit, there's like homeless people around, which sucks, you know, but like, not really much you can do, which is why I think people vote so blue in Seattle, because they're just kind of like, I want to help them, but I don't want to touch them. It's kind of a stupid thing to say, but I think it's a realistic thing that people have. Right? There we are. Not in dress shoes? Dude, I was working. My mom said she's going to the hospital. What else am I going to do? I didn't have money for Uber back then, because even though I had my cushiony job, at this point in time, I was living over here in this area, and let me tell you, it's like $3,000 a month to live over here. Beautiful area. Everything about this area is fucking amazing. Like, really good. Even public transportation, they have a light rail that goes through here. See though, right? So if you want to go somewhere, it's actually very cheap and affordable to get anywhere you want to in the city. But you know, like over half my rent was going towards, like half my pay was going towards rent. I went through I'm a Seattleite phase, okay? I went through my phase. I am done with the phase. I am now in suburbia. Yeah. Much different. Not crypto, COVID changed that for sure. You live in Vancouver. Seattle looks fun, but I heard it's dangerous. It's not so dangerous. It's just kind of depressing. Again, like, let me show you this very quick as Bitcoin's consolidating here. Seattle. So, a place that I frequent a little bit is called Fog Room. There's a couple of them that I frequent actually, but one of them I like a lot is the Fog Room. So you go over here to 2nd Ave, and here it is, the Charter Hotel. So I like to go here, and right up there, I don't know if I could actually show it to you. Fog Room, yeah. There's a bar that has an outdoor area where they have fire pits and stuff. You can drink casually while enjoying the waterfront view, right? So you could spend a couple $100 here on drinks alone, which I've done a few times, regrettably. And then you go down, and then there's just like some dude with the hospital. Like this actually happened last time I was there. I was there with a friend because he had just gotten out of some legal trouble, and I was like trying to help him out. Like, hey man, let's go out. Let me spend some money on you because you've been a friend of me. I've known him since like middle school. And funny enough, we don't even talk anymore. But I was like, hey man, let me help you out. Took him out, got a few drinks, chilled out for a little bit. Literally, by the time we went back downstairs, there was some guy overdosing on like fentanyl or something at the bottom of the hotel, like right in front of the hotel. So there's ambulance, fire department all there, stuff like that. And I was like, see, I feel bad for those people, but like, I would say force them into hospitals, force them to get treated, and that's much better approach than letting them have their rights and letting them, you know, be on fentanyl in the middle of downtown. You know what I mean? I feel like it's okay to break down rights like that, but I know there's a slippery slope and all that type of stuff. But like, I'm not a full-on libertarian. I'm just pretty libertarian, you know. So, but yeah, it's a different type of spot. But you're not going to see much crime. You're going to see a lot of homeless where they're just on drugs. So they're not going to necessarily attack you. At least I have never been attacked, but I'm a black dude walking. You know, if I'm a female, that could be a whole different story, right? But if you stay in the touristy spots, there's security everywhere. There's even Homeland Security with big old rifles walking around. They're really chill. Most people just go here for the Pike Place Market. It's like 3 levels that go underneath the ground. Gourmet ice cream, never had it because I'm lactose intolerant. But this guy, Tiny's Organic, it's just basically organic. No, that could be the fruit guy. Maybe up here. No, it's definitely that spot. Okay. There's a guy that sells just apple cider over here, and he's just freaking great. Oh, this was during the holidays. It must have been cold as balls out here. But yeah, oh yeah, these are all closed too, but these are all usually have people open and selling stuff inside of them. Lots of cool stuff, fruit, vegetables. When I lived in Seattle, I bought a lot of my food over here, like groceries, and just walked back up because I was trying to lose weight. This guy over here being awesome and smiling at it, right? Touristy. But yeah, this is where they make cheese in there, you know. It's a chill spot. People walking their dogs. Then you see those long ass hills again, which are just terrifying. Yeah, there you go. At least it's more flat that way. That's flat. There's a hill at the end, but it's flat. Yeah, Seattle's a great place. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend Seattle. Water catering the homeless, best of all states as far as I know. Let's see. Oh yeah, Washington. Yeah, we really give money to the homeless. It's kind of a big corruption scheme if you ask me, but like we do it a lot. So I think they were saying like an average tent through the bill was cost like $400, $500. But if you go over here to buy tent online, right? You can get a 4-person easy family tent for like $90 here on Amazon. $130 right there, $94, $300 if you want the full. I mean, look at that. That one's a beast of a tent, right? You could do it that way, but I'm like, you know, it don't cost no $400 a tent. You know, it doesn't cost $400 a tent. You know it. Like it does not. So I'm a big not schizophrenic shit. What am I gonna say? Conspiracy theorist that comes with like corruption and local governments paying off their friends for tents and stuff like that. What I like is back in the day, there was this one guy, Seattle, homeless man, White House. There was somebody that actually made a fake White House in the ghetto. It was great. I had little windows and everything. Had a door. Let me see if I can. There has to be a video of it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, hold on. You guys don't have to listen to the audio here. Just watch the video here. There it is. Nice little White House. See that? With a barbecue grill up front, some whatever you call those things. But yeah, I mean, and it was right next door to, I think in the corner right there, that's the Starbucks headquarters. Because there's the port right over there. It was intense. Like everybody was like, "Damn, now we got White Houses in here." It's it's a different time. Tacoma's not as bad because Tacoma doesn't give as much money. Tacoma's like, "Hey, homeless, go up to Seattle. They'll pay you more money. They'll give you more cell phones. They'll do this for you. They'll do that for you." But even Tacoma has quite a few homeless people as well. But the new thing is, so here's what cities are usually doing right now. It's more private businesses. So like there's a Walgreens maybe about 4 or 5 miles away from where I live, and they're always playing music. They're always playing circus music, dun 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 dun. You know, to keep the homeless people from being anywhere near their building, which works. It works. Now there's people that own lots, and they've just had rocks moved in there, so no homeless people can put their tent on the rocks. And then there are places where I think after 9 p.m. or after 10 p.m. they will play a very high-pitched noise, like ee, you know, really high-pitched noises, and that keeps the homeless people away from those as well, because it's just an annoying sound to listen to, right? And it's so powerful you can hear it from the street, like cool, like block away, you can hear that ee. So it's very, very loud. Businesses are doing their own stuff because the government won't help them out in any way, and to help them out, which means you kind of have to sacrifice some of their rights, saying, hey, you're not a good benefit for society. You're just lounging around. You're taking drugs. You're scaring people from walking the streets, which people want to walk the streets, right? We're going to put you in this mental hospital to get you off the drugs, fix you up. And then I would pay for them to go to the hospital, get fixed up, and then go to a mini house, like a tiny house, like I don't know if many of you guys have seen tiny houses, but Tacoma maps. They're usually hidden away nowadays, so people can't see them, because when they see them, they really get pissed off. There's this road over here, I think, yeah, Portland Ave. You go down this road right here, then right on the corner, you can see a bunch of tiny houses here. It's there. Trust me, it's there. I know it doesn't look like it's there, but it's there. They're there. They're hidden, but they're there. And they got these tiny houses, and they got him in here, I guess. Oh, I guess they probably put him inside this big building now, didn't they? Yeah, it's a big building now. Okay. You see the porta potties out there as well. So they put him here, and then while they're here, they help them look for a job. And these jobs are going to be like, hey, we're going to put you in this unit as long as you're going through your, what would you call it? Your, a phase of learning, your apprenticeship doing this, right? And fill up some of those jobs that most people just don't want to have. Like, we got the population to do them, right? We got to force a couple of them into it, right? But again, they would have they'd be like, after their apprenticeship is over, they'd be getting paid like 30 to 50 bucks an hour. They'd be set. You know what I mean? That's a life-changing move. But I'm a little different. My way might not be the best way, but it is a way that I would say, hey, maybe look into different parts of my way and see if one of these things works for you, you know? Fartcoin is hurting. Oh, dude, I know. That fixed the sound for me too. Oh, there we go. Okay. Came back. Oh, I don't know what's happening. My stream is on a cool 20-second delay. I've tried to do a lot of stuff to make sure that you guys get the best streaming experience. So I've gone over here and I've changed up a lot of stuff. Like I went over here the other day. I went to output, no stream. Yeah, output stream. I changed the bitrate from like 2,500, which it was before, and I changed it to 15,000. I have some other stuff on here, I think, but it's working out okay. But okay, buddy, I'm gonna call it a day right now. It's 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be somewhere in 3 minutes, and I'm wearing like workout shorts right now, not an actual khaki outfit. So I gotta go change, be late to my event, but it was kind of worth it because we're talking a lot right now. I enjoy talking with you guys, and there was a lot more people watching today than normal, so I appreciate all of you guys chilling with me. I'll be streaming, I think, tonight around like 1 o'clock if I get the chance. If not, I'll be streaming tomorrow morning when I wake up around like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock time. Do I have anything to do tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. I have nothing to do tomorrow, so yeah. Should be good to go. See you guys a little bit later. Thank you guys so much for chilling with me. Hey, Consulting Man, happy to see you. Set to lowest. Lowest latency is best. I don't do lowest latency. I do like the second to lowest, and it's primarily because if I do the fastest latency, sometimes like it's pushing as much as it can, but sometimes whenever like frames drop more at the lowest latencies, if that makes sense, because it's trying to get me all like as fast as possible. Actually, okay, sorry, YouTube won't even let you do low latency in 2K or 4K. They'll only let you do low latency in HD, which is very weird.